Someone recently reached out to me and said, Kris, how do I overcome the belief that I need to be a millionaire or a billionaire to really enjoy life? We got the answer coming your way right now. Recently, one of our young minds asked a brilliant question. How do I overcome the belief that I need to be a millionaire or a billionaire to enjoy life? Man, I love this question, and it really inspired me to make a video for you, because if you think about it, there are so many people that are here on this planet that, listen, we've got all these positive messages out there saying it doesn't take money to be happy and you don't need money but you know what? People aren't believing it. You know how I know that? Look at where we've put our commitments. Where we spend our money and where we spend our time ultimately dictates where our commitments are in life. And you know what? There's too many people that are out there that actually believe you need to make money to be happy. Take it from someone that has made millions of dollars. Take it from someone that has made a lot of money, has a powerful residual income, has built wealth, has built empires, built businesses. And I'm not the richest person on the planet, and I've never been a billionaire, but I'll tell you something, is that making money, does it actually make you happier than when you don't? The people that are unhappy because they don't have money, they think that having the money will solve their problems. But you know where the real problem lies? From within. It's the way that you see the world. If you actually think that you need money to make you happy, and then when you get it, guess what? It won't make you happy. It can't, because you decided that you need something to make you happy. Having it won't make you happy, because how much is enough? When is it enough? When is it actually everything that you want and more? My personal experience is that the people that are truly happy in life are those that figure out how to be happy with or without. They figure out how to be happy whether they have or have not. They figure out how to be happy no matter what. Here's the reality. Life is filled with opposition. I think it's part of some grand divine design that we can't escape opposition, which means today someone's going to hate on you, which means today someone's going to be mean, which means today maybe you're the meanie, which means today there's going to be an unexpected bill that could show up in the mail for you, which means that there could be a hardship or a medical disaster or cancer or something is going to show up, or a loved one's going to die or get hurt, or a child's going to get sick. Like, life is filled with that. The purpose of this life isn't to figure out how to be without those things. I think some people think that money solves those problems. The reality is that money does solve problems. But the money can only come if you first, I believe, decide who you are with or without money. There's a lot of people that attach it to their identity. And I call that an identity crisis, because they attach their self-worth. When they have money, they feel important. And that's really just the pride of the ego. And then you get those that are without money, and then they feel like they are less valuable, second-rate citizens, which is also a lie. The ultimate answer to your question is that happiness is a choice, and that if you condition it on a thing or a circumstance or a person, you're screwed. Think about it right there. If I have money, then I will be happy. If things go my way, then I will be happy. Or if this person is doing these things or meeting my expectations or in my life, then I'll be happy. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if you've ever been unhappy in your marriage with your partner, if you've ever been unhappy with the child, if you've ever struggled to pay a bill and it made you unhappy, I want you to know that that opposition has to be there, but the way you chose to react to it was unhappy. That was a choice. Take it out of a page from Viktor Frankl. If you have not read Man's Search for Meaning, get this book. It's a quick read. It's a story of a man that was in concentration camp, lost everything, clothes, family, everything, and not only survived, but thrived and learned this one thing while everyone was dying around him. You can take everything away from me but this one thing, my ability to choose my attitude in any circumstance. Friends, that's the truth. That's truth, capital T right there. So by the way, you could come into my life, come to one of my events, walk up to me and smack me across the face, and I would be feeling pain right here in my face. But that doesn't mean I have to be unhappy. That's pain. If I interpret the pain with negativity, then what I do is I create suffering. And that suffering will make me wildly unhappy. Friends, that's what we're all doing. We're just making choices to suffer. And suffering is always optional. It's never a must. I was at one of my events and I actually asked this question. How many of you have something happening in your life that's making you very unhappy and you feel like you don't have a choice? And I pull this woman up out of the crowd. She walks up in front And I say, do you really believe that this circumstance is making you unhappy? She's like, oh yeah, tell us about it. She told us the story of what was happening in her life and in her relationship and what a hardship it was producing. And I said, wow, based on your story, it sounds like you have to be sad. She's like, I do, I have to be sad. And I looked at her and I said, hit me. And she looked at me like, what? I said, just slap me right here on the face. And she looked and waited and paused, and then she came and gave me a little tap. And I said, no. I said, strike me. Slap my face. She took her hand and she slapped me. Left this red hand mark right here. Now the audience in that moment were just gasping. Like, did that just really happen? And then I looked at her and I looked at the audience and I asked, what choices do I have right now? And we investigated. Some said, well, you could be really mad at her for hitting you. Or some could say you should be mad at yourself because you asked her to hit you. And a lot of people suggested that what needed to be was sadness and unhappiness or anger or resentment or frustration. And then someone rose their hand and said, you could choose to walk away. I said, good. I could be angry. I could just walk away. And then I turned to the audience. I said, here's another choice. And I reached my arms out and I gave this woman a hug. And there was this awe that came upon everyone because someone could hit you and you could respond with love. I'm not here to tell you that's the right choice. I'm simply here to tell you that it's a choice. You're always at choice. There are infinite choices. Life's going to slap you. It's going to smack you. Hardship's going to come your way. But are you going to suffer needlessly after the pain, the physical pain has subsided? And many times there's no physical pain whatsoever. There's just hurt feelings. That's called emotional incompetency. You and I, we can't really go too far in our life if we're not willing to become an emotional Jedi, which means we need to like raise up our ninja skills and be in a world that says, hey, when negativity's around me, I view it as information, and then I make a different choice based on it. And I make a choice that advantages me versus disadvantages me. So this idea of being a millionaire or billionaire to enjoy life, that's just a belief. I have to be a millionaire to be happy. I have to be a millionaire to enjoy life. Listen, if you believe that, you're going to suffer until you're a what? A billionaire. But the suffering will keep you from becoming one. It's a catch-22. So instead, what do you get to believe different? Sometimes I have money, sometimes I don't, and I'm happy either way. I love my life. No matter what circumstances, no matter what opposition is coming into my life, I love my life. That person is indomitable. That person has the ability to live truly a magnificent life. Let me share with you the definition of wealth. Wealth for me is a person that knows how to be happy regardless of the state of their bank account. Whether you got millions of dollars sitting in the bank or whether you're totally overdue on your bills, you have the opportunity to be happy either way. And the person that knows how to be happy and find a solution is far more capable of creating abundance and prosperity than the person that actually thinks that their outward circumstance or bank account is going to determine where they get and how they get to feel in life. So friends, don't be that guy. Instead, be the one that gets to cultivate prosperity from within with the choice of happiness. If you like today's video, make sure that you subscribe, ring the bell so that I can notify you about other empowering videos just like this. Check out the website or link in the description below where you can also learn about where you and I can get live together at one of my boot camps to help you cultivate the ultimate successful mindset.